Before I forget, we still don't have a decree in this case.
We don't, Your Honor, I was gonna discuss that with you.
Why don't we?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Why don't we?
Yes, Your Honor. So last time we were here, I believe we switched up the child support guidelines a little bit, increased my client's income. So I updated the decree with all of that, information in the child support guidelines. I sent them to the younger Mr. Smalley, probably back in early April. And since that time, I've tried emailing, calling him. I haven't got a single response on any of those, issues that you may have with the decree or guidelines at this point. So the only thing I can think is maybe set a new motion to settle, and finalize this decree.
Well, have you gone over it with your client? Is there any problem with it?
On our end, no, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Smalley, can we not get this done? What's the holdup? And
I can't answer that, Judge. I don't know.
does your client know?
Have you seen the decree?
I've seen the degree, yeah.
What's the
approve it?
holdup?
I don't know. I'll just have to
Sir?
ask Richie.
I'm not aware of the holdup, Your Honor. I was informed of the change, slightly, and I did not oppose, anything. The only thing with the decree that I even had questions about was with the part where it says that 2 weekends a month, just kind of like saying that, because that was what gave rise to a lot of the issues we're here today for. But as far as the child support amount and the general decree itself,
Your attorney filed a motion for me to reconsider the issue. I know you disagree strongly with one of my findings about the income. I've heard that. I think I tweaked it a little bit.
yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm done reconsidering. Very often people don't agree with my findings. I respect that, but they're my findings nonetheless. So I'm not gonna change them anymore. So, and I know Mr. Smalley, this is not your thing, but this case just reeks of dysfunction, and I'm running out of patience, and, cause we spent enough time on this. And I don't think anybody wants to be here, and the way to not be here is to start getting these things done. So no, I don't wanna give another court time for a motion to settle. I don't have that court time. So what I want is you to sign that decree with your client, get that to Mr. Smalley and his client, and if you can't get it signed, you and Mr. Smalley just come see me informally and tell me why we can't get this done. I'm not giving any more court dates on this case for a motion to settle. It's been settled. So we need to get these to a decree that they can move forward with.
You have it with you? Is it signed?
Not yet. Get it signed.
Well, if you guys will sign it, give it to me. Judge, do you mind if I sign it for Richie?
No,
You do it right now then?
let's do it. And I'm gonna clarify, I am gonna make some, they're not even really modifications, I'm not changing any of the terms, I'm just gonna be a little more specific, but I'll do that through this order. Ms. Jane Kuski, am I saying that correctly, the Willow Springs Police Department, is that where you do the exchanges?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's Willow Springs Police Department.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's in Illinois.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And there's a joint custody plan too, is that part of this?
Yes, Your Honor. I have that as well.
Okay, now, look, I'm not trying to rush anyone, let me just tell you the findings for today, whenever that's when you can just drop off, or I'll be in my office, but look, I wanna say a few things and then I want to end the hearing. Ms. Janguski and Mr. Janguski, I know I've been short this afternoon, you can probably sense frustration, and, you know, I'm working on that. I respect you two, and I know this is important. I think you're both good parents, and you're good people, so please forgive my shortness with you. I don't think we should be here though, and I don't think any of this is necessary, and I wish that we weren't here, so that's kind of I can't help but find some frustration. I also have gotten phone calls from police departments, about you two, from out of state, and I can't, that is absolutely unnecessary and frankly ridiculous, in my opinion, to be getting phone calls from police officers out of state where they're just kind of putting their hands up in the air over y'all. And I don't know, I don't pretend, I'm never there, so I don't know. I know there's all sorts of dynamics here. This is a divorce, it's emotional, and I get that. There's nothing I can do about that. But I don't like getting those phone calls. Those police officers have important jobs to do, and I don't think they should have to spend their time and resources trying to keep the peace with two parents, trying to do something as simple as exchange a child that you both love. So, I know I don't see it from your eyes, and I'm trying to show some empathy here, because I'm not in your position, but from my position, I can't help but think that this is really unnecessary. I know you can do better than this, and I'm using both of you together. I'm not taking sides here. It's always a two-way street. You two need to get on with things. You need to let bygones be bygones. You need to take the temperature down. No, you just need to. You need to have thick skin. You need to take the temperature down for your child's sake. Your child's gonna grow. Your child's gonna be 5, and then 7, and then 10. And before you know it, if your child sees this between the two of you, if you don't think that's going to impact your child, you're sadly wrong. I see it every day in here. It brings tears to my eyes. And I'm not accusing either of you of anything right now. I'm just telling you, knock this crap off. Both of you. Start behaving like civil adults, civil parents who love their child. And I know you can do it. I know it's hard because you got there's a history here, and you know, it's hard with these logistics with out of state, and I wish I could make it not hard, but it is. This is the situation that you two have gotten yourselves in, and it's just, this is what the life circumstances are. So with those life circumstances, I'm imploring you to be civil with one another. Nobody should be calling the police on anyone. Nobody should be threatening anyone with getting in trouble, or getting prosecuted, or going to jail, or kidnapping, anything like that. That's not gonna be tolerated. Nobody's kidnapping anyone. All right, so you two are good people. So I don't know, I just wanted you to hear that, because you got a lot more visitations to go. I mean, you guys gotta figure this out. I cannot micromanage your lives from Norman, Oklahoma. I can't do it, I shouldn't do it. That's not what judges are for. It's not what this courtroom is for. You came here to get divorced, you got divorced. And you needed decisions for custody, visitation, support, all those legal matters. That's what you got. Now execute on them. That's what parents do of divorced households. If you don't do that, then you know this will this will just, I mean, I'll be here, you guys can keep filing things, I guess, but, you know, this stuff with the police, please, take the temperature down, settle down. I mean, your kiddo deserves it. Okay, so, I'll memorialize some findings. They're going to read as follows: that the matter comes on for hearing on respondent's motion to enforce visitation. The parties appear with counsel, proffers have been made, the parties have been examined. The court finds as follows: in the court's view, mother has unreasonably withheld visitation on the weekend of April 19th to the 21st. That was the weekend about the fear that he was going to keep the child for a week. I don't doubt there was some concern about that, but in my view, you know, that could have been dealt with after the fact. You don't get to unilaterally withhold a visitation because you don't like what the other side is saying. If he were to extend that visitation that was contrary to the court's order, that would have been your relief could have been to, you know, hold him in contempt or seek a modification here, or just figure it out as parents and just maybe accommodate something. I mean, there's options there, but it's not to just say, nope, you're not getting visitation. You don't have that authority. You're joint custodians, okay? So I thought that was unreasonable. And all of the other weekends, I am not finding them unreasonable. I'm finding it just, you know, there's a little bit on both. I was gonna find it unreasonable in January with the bad weather, but then you had indicated there were 2 weekends in January. So under the current order, as long as you got 2 weekends in January, I'm not gonna find that the bad weather was unreasonable. But the other situations, I listened to them. I wasn't there, and I'm sure I don't have all the information, but you know, it doesn't meet the standard, doesn't meet my hurdle for finding unreasonableness. I think there's been some unreasonableness on both sides here. So back to the terms of this, the court is ordering a makeup visitation for the father to be exercised during a weekend of his choosing prior to August 1st of 2024. So you're gonna look at your calendar and you're gonna find a weekend and you're gonna let mom know what that weekend is, and that's gonna be your makeup weekend for visitation for that April 19th to the 21st missed weekend. All the other alleged withholdings were not unreasonable under the totality of the circumstances. The court takes notice that the parties have had significant difficulty in executing the terms of the visitation plan currently in place. Furthermore, the court takes notice of an injunction, harassment order of protection issued for mother and against the father. The court further takes notice that it has received multiple phone calls from Wisconsin law enforcement regarding difficulties in interpreting the visitation plan. So for all of the above reasons, the court is modifying / clarifying the visitation plan as follows. The father is granted visitation on the 1st and 3rd weekends of every month, no exceptions. All of the exchanges shall occur at the Willow Springs Police Department, no exceptions. Should father be more than 60 minutes late for any visitation, that weekend visitation is deemed waived. All of the other terms of the visitation schedule remain in full force and effect. So this is just setting specific weekends. You just mark your calendars, the first weekend and the third weekend of every month. Those are your weekends to visit. The summer visitation is what it is. I can't be any more specific because your schedule doesn't allow for it. You get 2 weeks. That is in addition to the first and third weekends. You have a makeup visitation that you get to pick. Do it before August 1st. All exchanges at the police department. Okay,
Question, Judge,
what
if I may?
else? Yeah.
The protective order is potentially going to go away. So my question would be, if that occurs, would you still order the visitation exchange to be at the police department?
That's my order.
Okay,
They,
just wanna be sure.
the parties can do whatever they want as long as they agree to it, but the
I'm
order,
just trying to avoid,
yeah,
Castle down
I
there.
don't feel comfortable having it anywhere other than, I feel comfortable with the police department, but I don't. So I don't know if that's gonna go away or not. If it goes away, then, and there's a problem with doing it at the police department, I guess you can file a motion and I'll have to decide it if that happens. But I'm not likely to do it because I haven't seen, we've had this plan in place since January and we don't even have a decree yet. And we've got our restraining order and we've got 5 alleged missed visitations. I've got phone calls from police departments, so I have zero confidence that anything's gonna change until it changes. That's how I look at this. Okay, anything else, Mr. Small?
may I have just a moment?
Considering how he's ruled, we're screwed on trying to get sanctions. Would you agree? So I'm not even gonna ask for him if that's okay with you.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
We have a provision for childcare in there, but I didn't know if the court would rather have it in the child support guidelines. I think that was the big issue.
What's that?
So my client currently pays for childcare services. I don't think the court specifically ordered it to be in the child support guidelines, but I placed it in there, which obviously increases the child support sum. I brought 2 copies of the decree in case the court orders that it just be reimbursed later on. Either one's fine with us, we just wanna get this thing done.
Well, okay, we had a trial in January, was this not an issue raised in the trial?
It was, Your Honor, and I don't have my file with me, but I know I had an exhibit for it. She pays, is it $600 a month, right?
I pay $150 a week, Your Honor.
$150 a week.
Well,
So it's about $650 a month.
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't, have you talked to Mr. Smalley about that? Is there?
I've reached out to him. The only thing I'd heard from him in the last about month and a half or so is that I think he said his client had an issue with the guidelines, and that's the only email I've ever received. No clarification or anything on that, even though I've tried to reach out to him to see if we could nail this thing down, but I've not been successful.
What does the decree say as far as, I think I determined the incomes, right?
Yes, Your Honor, we did update those, and I think those are fine. As far as childcare costs, parties shall share the cost of any work-related childcare costs by splitting said cost according to the parties' pro rata share of the guidelines. Parties have 30 days to approve, and other party has 30 days to reimburse.
Then that is, they're not to be included in the guidelines.
Very well, Your Honor. I think that clears everything up, and we can hopefully get this thing signed today.
Here's that injunction back, thank you for that. Mr. Luna, there is the original, would you mind taking that down for filing? There's a copy for you and your client, would you hand Mr. Small that copy of this?
What's this?
All right.
Judge, if you hang on a second, we've got everything signed, if you want to sign it.
Okay.
Decree in joint custody. You got the child support order?
Deal.
Do you have a better copy of this?
No,
This
the
is all
back,
jacked up.
yeah, the back ones are jacked up, they're all zero. Don't know why.
I don't know if we, do we even need to attach those?
Probably not. I think it's just the insurance computation, which was zero.
Get this done right away.
Mr. Smalley, I appreciate you and appreciate you filling in for other Mr. Smalley. All right.
Thank you, sir.
we got Miss Jane Kuski, Mr. Jane Kuski hanging safe travels.
Sir.